Hello everyone, welcome back to Oliveboard regulatory bodies, and today we are going to have a very special session. There are many of the regulatory body aspirant who are preparing for the year of 2025. Now all of these students are interested specifically in two exams, RBI, NABARD. But many of the students also think that if I'm preparing for NABARD, why shouldn't I prepare for RBI? And similarly vice versa, if I'm preparing for the most difficult regulatory bodies exams like RBI, shouldn't I give a shot on a NABARD too? See, every opportunity for you when you're preparing for any competitive exam, we are having limited time. Some of the students, they feel that we are having a 5-year plan or 6-year plan to prepare, but that's not suggested. Give brief period of 1 to 2 years only, and you give as much as exams you can. You prepare strongly for these exams definitely. And if a proper planning is there, if proper segregation and time allocation is there for each of these subjects, you have a de-aligned strategy that I'm preparing for these two exams and I can crack them. Definitely, there are various students. I've seen students who got cleared in NABARD, stayed in NABARD for 1, 2, 3 months and then switched RBI. I've seen students who have cleared RBI as well as NABARD togetherly, and then they have picked the organizations. So in this way, there was a student of mine who actually cleared RBI and then he also cleared NABARD. So, but at the end, he took a shot that I am going to join RBI as an organization, and he joined RBI. So in this way, let's today understand that how any of the regulatory bodies aspirant like you can prepare for RBI and NABARD togetherly. For that, you have to understand what is the overall exam pattern. This is not something related to notification, then how much seats are there, what is the eligibility criteria. Guys, go and see the notification. If you are eligible for NABARD, you are eligible for RBI. If you are eligible for RBI, you are eligible for NABARD. That much difference is not there. But the exam pattern and syllabus, here's where we have to put our eyes on. First, let us discuss about the stage 1 or phase 1 prelims. In NABARD also, 3 stages are there. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1 is objective. Phase 2 is your objective plus subjective and your last interview. Similarly in RBI, RBI first prelims. Then RBI second, that is phase 2, is your objective plus descriptive, and then your interview. The only difference is what are the subjects in your phase 1, what are the subjects in phase 2, and overall exam pattern and all of those. Let us discuss here only some of the differences and similarities are there. Let's first discuss common things in RBI and NABARD for phase 1 exam. What are the common things? The common subjects are Quant, English, GA, Reasoning and ESI. All of these subjects, Quant, English, Reasoning and ESI, are 100% similar in RBI and NABARD. The GA part, when we are talking about, here in RBI, the GA part is much more difficult, has complex questions as well as multiple statement based questions, has government schemes, has finance and economic current affairs. In NABARD, you will see that here your government schemes is common, then PIB news is common, but at the same time you will see reports and indices is common, similar to RBI. But here agricultural current affairs is there in NABARD, which is different. In RBI, what is different? Finance and economy current affairs, that is different. Or RBI circulars, that is different. Understood? So these are some common subjects which are in RBI and NABARD with little bit changes. What are the subjects which are additional in NABARD? In phase 1 exam, I will also show you what are the similarities in the exam pattern and what are the differences in exam pattern of phase 1. But first see what are the additional subjects you have to prepare for phase 1 in NABARD. In NABARD, decision making is extra, computer knowledge is extra, and agriculture and rural development is extra. As I told you, in RBI, finance and management is an extra subject. In NABARD, that finance and management is replaced by agriculture and rural development. So this is your NABARD phase 1 exam pattern. This is your RBI phase 1 exam pattern. Both of these phase 1 exams are for 200 marks. But in NABARD, 8 subjects are there which are divided in 2 sections, qualifying and merit section. And in RBI, your 4 sections are there. Here 4 subjects are not there. These are individually 4 sections. Again, here only 4 sections or 4 subjects are there. In NABARD, twice of that, 8 subjects are there. Now, what are the other differences which are in your overall exam pattern? In RBI, each section has sectional cutoff. Okay? In NABARD, each subject doesn't have a sectional cutoff, but first 5 subjects which make one section, that is qualifying, that have each of these subjects are having your qualifying, that is qualifying cutoff. Okay? Other than that, first to 5 subjects fall into qualifying section. 6 to 8, that is your 3 subjects, GA, Economic and Social Issues, and ARD, are in your merit section. Merit section tells that there is a separate merit cutoff for only these 3 subjects. So your selection that you will clear phase 1 overall cutoff, that overall cutoff is out of only 100 marks in GA, ESI and ARD. Unlike in RBI, the overall cutoff is out of overall 200 marks. Understood? One more thing, each section in RBI has sectional timing. In NABARD, sectional timing is not there, only overall timing of 120 minutes is there. Also, in NABARD, no any segmentation is there. That means you can start with any of the sections to solve, any of the subjects to solve. In RBI, here if the exam starts with reasoning, you have to first complete the reasoning. Until and unless reasoning timing doesn't end, you cannot switch to the other section. Understood? The marking systems are also quite different, and the subjects also you will see that the subjects like decision making, computer, then your agriculture and rural development, these are extra as compared to RBI. And the timing also here, sectional timing is given for each of these section. Understood? So this is the difference in the phase 1 exam of RBI and NABARD. Now, let's talk about the second stage, that is phase 2. We know that in phase 2, when we are talking about here, your common subjects in RBI and NABARD are ESI, Economic and Social Issues. In RBI, ESI is paper 1. In NABARD, ESI and ARD both are combination, and though ESI, ARD are paper 2. Understood? English descriptive, it's common in RBI as well as NABARD. The only difference is in RBI 3 questions are there in English descriptive: essay, précis, reading comprehension. In NABARD 3 questions are there: essay, précis and letter writing. So RC is replaced by letter writing. Other than that, here in English descriptive also minor change is that the essay is in one exam it is in 40 marks, for other it could be 30 marks. So that is a simple difference. Subjects which are additional in NABARD are agriculture and rural development. Subject which is additional in RBI is finance and management. Understood? In your phase 2 descriptive. Understood? A descriptive as well as objective part, because that is paper 3 in RBI. In NABARD, such finance and management paper is not there. So overall, if I compare, now let just observe here, here more you will understand. NABARD phase 2 is of 200 marks. Paper 1 is English. It's for 90 minutes. 3 questions are there for 100 marks. Paper 2 is combination of 2 subjects, economy and social issues. 50% objective is there and 50% descriptive is there mark wise. Here you will see 90 minutes and here objective for 50 marks, descriptive for 50 marks. This is your paper 2. Whereas RBI, if you compare, paper 1 is economic and social issues, paper 2 is English descriptive, paper 3 is finance and management, and it is in totally each paper is for 300 marks. Understood? So these are all your differences. Timing also, duration also you can see different durations are there. One of the common thing in descriptive questions is that for any of the paper, if 6 descriptive questions are there, you have to write any 4. Understood? And in objective, if 30 questions are there, it means that some of the questions will be for 2 marks and some of the questions will be for 1 mark to make up the tally of these 30 questions to 50 marks. Understood? So this is again the phase 2 pattern for both RBI and NABARD. Now, how to approach for the uncommon subjects which are there in NABARD? If a student is preparing for RBI, then definitely if he wants to prepare for NABARD, there are additional subjects. If a student is preparing for NABARD, then also there are some additional subjects. Okay, if he is preparing for NABARD and if he wants to give RBI exam, then also there are additional subjects. That's what I was saying. Decision making, when we are talking about, always remember, if you are an RBI student and if you want to prepare for NABARD, decision making is the extra subject which you have to definitely prepare. So decision making is completely part of management. You will get ample videos on YouTube to cover those. Also, the cutoff also for decision making is 1.5 marks, so you don't need to take stress. You can prepare it in last 1-2 months. Computer, you will see thousands of videos on YouTube. You can cover your computer knowledge. Basic, even if you are preparing operation systems, then your internet, your MS Office shortcuts, then also you are able to score many more marks. For agriculture and rural development, if you are an RBI student and if you want to prepare for NABARD, then ARD definitely is the core and the backbone of NABARD exam. Therefore, ARD static you can definitely prepare. There are various free sources and I have made different videos for that. Okay, go and search how you can freely prepare for agriculture and rural development. And definitely, if you want to prepare, you can join NABARD course also. Already 2025 course is going on. Agriculture static is very, very important. Your major agricultural and rural development portion, the overall questions definitely come from ARD static only. Apart from that, agriculture related schemes and reports are very, very important. Remember, agriculture and rural development static is one of the biggest challenge for NABARD student. Many of the students lose their marks because of this section, and that is why go on Oliveboard's website and surely check out our courses and the NABARD course, especially ARD classes which we have completed just now. Apart from that, if there is a student who is already preparing for NABARD and now he wants to prepare for RBI, then the only extra subject he has to prepare is finance and management. For FNM, again, already we have launched RBI Grade B 2025 mentorship course also, as well as complete course also. Remember, FNM also, FNM, finance and management, from current affairs point as well as static point of view, it from both ways, 50-50% question comes. Current affairs especially is very important, includes finance current affairs, economic current affairs, banking current affairs, as well as RBI circulars. All these questions are very important, and then static part of finance, which comes in descriptive section. So therefore, FM preparation is very important. Go through our RBI courses for 2025 on our Oliveboard's website. Definitely they may help you out. Both of these subjects, for a student who is already preparing RBI and wants to prepare for NABARD, for him ARD will determine will he clear NABARD or not. For a student who is already preparing NABARD and if he wants to prepare for RBI, then he will clear RBI or not. That will be completely dependent on finance and management preparation. So these are the two roadblocks for each of the students who are choosing one exam extra. I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell. Now, what is a unique strategy for both RBI and NABARD? Remember, current affairs scope in terms of month would be very, very different. For RBI as well as for your NABARD, here you have to understand the way in which you cover the current affairs, that is different. Second, strategy also will be different based on merit and non-merit sections for NABARD especially. I told you that in NABARD qualifying section is there, in quant, reasoning, English, computer knowledge, decision making. It doesn't really matter that if how much marks you are getting, you just have to clear the cutoff. Either by 0.1 marks also you clear, it's more than enough. Because the merit cutoff is your overall cutoff. That's why you should score high in GA, ESI and ARD only, the merit section. Time management is very important in NABARD. Why? Because any sectional timing is not there. In total, 8 subjects are there, 200 questions are there, and you have to solve them in 120 minutes. Sometimes one of the section, if it comes difficult, you spend extra time in that and you will never know, you will lose out the questions. And descriptive answer writing, there are certain compulsory questions in NABARD which you cannot miss. The first question for 15 marks, whatever questions are there, the first question is compulsory. Next 10 marker questions are there. In that, your fourth question is compulsory. In this way, the compulsory question, you cannot skip them. This makes the unique strategy for both RBI and NABARD. Similarly, in NABARD, the current affairs portion is much more little bit less. When ESI preparation is there, only ESI subject usually is dynamic or current affairs based. ARD is completely static. Unlike RBI, if you are looking at finance also current affair comes, ESI also current affairs comes. So here the RBI exam is much more dynamic in nature. Also for RBI, when you are looking at the strategy, quant, reasoning, these subjects are very, very important. Although here you have to just clear the cutoff, many of the students are not even able to clear a cutoff of 4.5 or 3 marks. It shows you that how much difficult the questions are. So therefore our strategy should be unique for both RBI and NABARD separately. This is what I wanted to tell. Many of the platforms can tell you that the strategies are very similar and just you carry forward whatever subjects you are preparing. But it is not so. Definitely, in terms of difficulty, RBI is more difficult than NABARD. Therefore, topics like quant, reasoning, English, ESI, you can prepare for RBI concretely. For extra part of NABARD, you can prepare separately. This is what the best strategy and the follow-out should be. Now, what is the plan? Always remember, the block 1 talks about what should be your 9-month preparation before the exam when you are preparing for NABARD as well as RBI. Remember, ARD static and quant should be prepared. Finance static and reasoning has to be prepared. ESI static current affairs has to be prepared togetherly. So daily basis you can start your preparation with ESI static and current affairs. You can practice descriptive answer writing maybe on week to week basis or maybe on weekends. Similarly, before 2 to 3 months of exam, current affairs revision becomes important, government schemes and reports revision becomes important, descriptive answer writing now rigorous practice becomes important, and static part, whatever ARD you have covered, finance management static you have covered, ESI static you have covered, that becomes important. Also one more thing, the quant and reasoning, mock test analysis and practice also becomes important before 2 to 3 months of exam. Last 1 month of exam, current affairs rigorous revision, government scheme and report revision, mock test analysis, revision of static as well as current affairs, and lastly, decision making and computer knowledge coverage for NABARD. This is what the overall plan before 9 months, before 3 months and before 1 month should be. Take the screenshot. I hope that this would be very, very beneficial for you. With this, we end this session. Thank you very much. And yes, hasta la vista.